Grand Circle is a beautiful vast region located in the southwestern United States. Encompassing portions of 5 states, the area contains America's largest concentration of national parks and monuments. I'll be traveling with my mum, setting off from Vegas and covering a distance of 1,500 miles in 2 weeks. We'll be traveling through some of America's most diverse scenery, woven together by extraordinary scenic byways that form the Grand Circle.
We've left Las Vegas and we're heading to Zion, which is the first stop on the Grand Circle. It's kind of relieved to be on the road finally, after a few hiccups along the way. Had the ash cloud, which would have cancelled our flight.
Thousands of passengers have faced delays and cancellations at airports because of the volcanic ash cloud drifting across the UK from Iceland.
Had a cellulitis in my foot, which meant I couldn't walk. It's all better now. And then nearly missed our connection to Chicago on the flight over. And then we got to Vegas and our bags weren't there, but now we've got our bags. So we went to get the car rental and my license had expired. I didn't even know license expired. So I can't drive this holiday, which is a bit gutting. So Mum's doing the driving. So we're here in Utah, and we're in this tiny town called Springdale, which is just on the edge of Zion National Park. And a bit of a contrast to Vegas, slightly more peaceful, but it's going to be a nice relaxing few days. These are the beers we've just been served.
We asked for large and the waitress was surprised. She said, "Do you really mean large?" So we said yes.
This is what we got.
Oktoberfest or something.
I can't get all the beer in the photo.
It's Jamaican lager brewed right here in Springdale. Don't know why they call it Jamaican lager, but actually most of the towns brew their own beers, so it's nice to try the different beers in the different towns.
Well, it's most of the towns in Utah do.
Yeah.
It's like 10 years ago, Zion National Park stopped all traffic coming in and made everyone get on like a free parking ride, and it just completely transformed the park and made it so peaceful because there's just no cars anymore. No idea what's making that sound. So that's what we heard. You hear what sounds like a bleating sheep. Chances are you're hearing the small noisy frog.
I have a beta in my video. You could put it in the edited highlights.
So this is our first day in Zion, and we're going to be walking up Angel's Landing. It was named Angel's Landing by a reverend who was here, don't know how many years ago. He named it so because he thought the only way you could get to the top is if you're an angel. It's actually just a path, which we're going to walk up. It's going to take a couple of hours, and hopefully my foot will hold up as well. It should be alright. Looking forward to it?
Oh yes, can't wait.
top of Angel's Landing, it's a 1,200-foot drop straight down to the bottom. There's actually been 6 fatalities from people being careless and falling off the path. But even if you're scared of heights, it's well worth the walk up for the incredible views of Zion.
We're leaving Zion National Park, which is a bit of a shame, but we're heading to Bryce, which is just as amazing, so that should be great.
But it's better.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, Mum prefers Bryce, so it's good that we're leaving Zion. The road that we're driving on, I saw an article online which voted as one of the top 10 roads to drive on in the world, because you're just weaving in and out of absolute stunning scenery. I think the only reason it hasn't been featured on Top Gear is because the speed limit is 35 miles an hour. But you don't really want to speed along it, really, you just want to take it all in.
Life is a highway, I wanna ride it all night long.
Yeah, just on the way out of Zion, we did the short trail up to the canyon view, and then we saw this guy who was riding his bike up the road, and he said he was riding his bike all the way from Las Vegas to Toronto, which is incredible. It's called the Checkerboard Rock because it looks like a giant checkerboard. It's weird, we're driving on that road out of Zion Canyon and then literally a mile later you're suddenly in the wilderness on a ranch with horses and buffalo and a complete change of scenery so quickly. We're at the coral pink sand dunes just on the way to Bryce. Never mind the Grand Canyon, I think this is going to be the hardest walk of the holiday. Absolutely knackered from trying to walk up the sand dunes.
It's a camel. It is a camel.
Where's a camel?
Down there. The rocks. Or it could be a serpent. Like a dragon. Bryce.
Bryce Canyon has always been one of our favourite places to visit. Now, technically it's not actually a canyon for reasons that are far too boring to mention. But anyway, it was named after Ebenezer Bryce, an early Mormon settler who homesteaded here in the mid-1870s. Ebenezer once described the canyon as one hell of a place to lose a cow. However, we were just hoping to lose the crowds by having an early start with the added bonus of avoiding the midday heat.
Wherever you go in the world, there's always noisy fuckers ruining the peace and quiet. Shut the fuck up.
Guardate che lo spettacolo di questo albero che viene fuori dalla...
It's amazing, we've just gone around like 2 extra corners and lost the Italians. And listen to that. Nothing. Moral of the story, shut the fuck up. So this is what we call the T-Rex rock. Looks like a T-Rex. Yeah, I think we've had our photo taken here before. Don't you?
I think so.
Yeah, definitely have. So when you come to national parks, like 75% of the tourists just come to the viewpoint and get their photo taken. And like another 24% do like the short walk, that's like a mile or two long. But if you actually make the effort to just go on a different walk that's just a bit longer, you suddenly have all the place to yourself. Snake down there.
Did it wriggle? Is that how you saw it?
Yeah, I thought it was a lizard, then I just saw its whole body.
This funny twisted up tree you see in front of me, that's called a corkscrew pine tree. The one laying on the ground next to it, that's called a dead pine tree. Pretty simple.
Just think you only get one of these. We get them all day.
So these are rock formations here called hoodoos, and they're basically formed over tens of millions of years worth of weathering and erosion. Partly because at night it's sort of sub-freezing temperatures, and in the day it's like really warm, so you get a freeze-thaw cycle going on like for 2/3 of the year round. So that's sort of a rough idea of how it's formed.
I know which one I want. How's it look?
It looks a bit light in colour for the hat.
Looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want it now. I don't want to get a park ranger or something.
No, you look like someone out of Western.
Bible Opoly, the game of fun and faith. Fucking brilliant.
Right, we've now got the longest drive of the trip ahead of us, but fortunately the route once again takes us through some breathtaking scenery. One of the stops along the way is Capitol Reef National Park, which apparently has some of the clearest air in America, which you can hear me explain about in this next clip.
We stopped here at Capitol Reef. Visibility of 145 miles.
Okay, it was a little windy, but basically the average visibility in the summer is around 145 miles. We've arrived in Moab, a small town that serves as a hub for the surrounding national parks, as well as all the adventure activities you can do around here, such as whitewater rafting and skydiving. Tomorrow we'll be checking out Arches National Park, but first, it was time to try out some more local beer.
My brewery makes the beer over there, brews the beer over there, and then you get to drink it right here.
What are you drinking?
This is a lizard wheat ale. Perfect choice when you just want a nice cold beer. It's really good as well. Mum's drinking, what is it?
Porcupine Cooler.
I hope you enjoy.
I like that.
You going for a burger? No, I've gone for nachos.
It's home to over 2,000 natural sandstone arches, yet no one knows how Arches National Park actually got its name. The area is kind of like a playground of short trails where you can scramble over rocks and sand to discover the various arches.
Hey brother, there's another suka mama turning. The sun will rise and light in your eyes. Fire keeps on burning. Hey, come my way. Suka mama. Come on, sale, ale. Where the suka mama. Hey, come my way. Suka mama. Come on, sale, ale. Where the suka mama.
This is Partition Arch. This is Balanced Rock. So this here is a double arch, and it was featured in the prologue to Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where River Phoenix plays a young Indiana Jones, and just after he's stolen the Golden Cross, he comes running out of there and down here.
Mr. Havelock!
See?
If your baby makes you crazy, don't know where she's going. Ask the mister back that look, which way the wind is blowing. Ho, ho, hey, come my way. Suka, mama. Come on, sale, ale. Where the suka, mama.
This is Canyonlands National Park. There was no sign saying that the path had stopped. We just sort of came to an edge here and realised we should probably stop walking. The views here are just incredible, some of the best in the world. I mean, compared to Grand Canyon, it beats it hands down in terms of how vast it is. Now, the film 127 Hours was shot here in Canyonlands and in Arches National Park, and the real life story actually happened here in Canyonlands. And you can see that if you're on your own and you got stuck in a canyon, no one's going to find you. Now over here, over there's Dead Horse Point, which is where we're going to drive to later, and that's where the opening scene of Mission Impossible 2 was shot. That was all Tom Cruise doing that. There wasn't any stunt doubles, but he did have a safety wires on that were digitally removed. I did some myself a bit earlier over the canyon, but I didn't have any wires.
Time for a change of scenery now, as we head to the edge of the Rocky Mountains in Colorado.
We're in Colorado now, a little town called Durango, which is like a proper Old West town. Most fantastic evening in Durango in the hotel that was built in 1887, and we were drinking in the saloon, eating the food. The food was amazing. It was locally brewed beer and a live band playing, and it was just perfect evening.
Mesa Verde was home to the Native Americans from 600 AD to the 1300s. However, after living here for nearly 700 years, they allegedly vanished from the area. Today, the best way to see the cliff dwellings is with a guided tour from one of the park rangers. They take you down steep paths, ladders, and through incredibly narrow tunnels, allowing you to explore the old homes of the ancestral Pueblo.
Alright folks, so here's Soda Canyon. Why they call it Soda Canyon? Well, it's soda wide, soda deep. During 1240 is pretty much the end peak population here. Anywhere between 3,000 to 8,000 people live in the year 1240 right now, right out here. So as we look across, you could probably hear and see the kids playing in the fields, being chased by turkey, and also you could probably hear the stone on stone as people repairing and fixing their houses. You could probably smell the smoke of these pueblos all around us. You could hear the foot drums of Hemingway houses are preparing for an evening ceremony tonight. And all these good things for over 600 years. Over 600 years these people farmed, they lived this land. Population was growing. Beautiful. Folks, things do not last forever. If you get about halfway up and your body is saying, what in the world are you doing? The best thing to do is do not look up, do not look down.
What are you singing?
Well,
MacDonald had a farm. Everybody knows that.
I've done this long enough. I've been known to sing Free Falling by Tom Petty.
There are a few theories as to what happened to the people living here and why they vanished from the area. One is that they simply used up the area's natural resources and moved on.
You're going to grab the stuff that belongs to you that you're going to make for this long journey. Crawl through that tunnel, the same tunnel that we're going to crawl through here in just a few more minutes, to never, never return again. The 8,000 people that once lived here moved on. And that's when we say, hey, these people disappeared off the face of the earth. Poof, gone. No. Go to Acoma, Zia, Zuni, Hopi, San Juan, San Miguel, Santa Clara, Jemez. Go to those pueblos in New Mexico, Arizona, and even West Texas. And you will still see construction very similar to what you're looking at here. And you will still see people still using kivas, still to this day, after 800 years. If you go to those pueblos and you decide to ask them that question, the question everybody wants to know, why did you leave Mesa Verde? Why did you leave Canyon of the Ancients, Hovenweed, Montezuma Castle, Canyon de Chelly? Why did you leave all these places across the Southwest? And I've asked 3 pueblos this, and I got the same answer 3 times. It was time to go. That's all they said. It was time to go.
So this is Monument Valley, which has been featured in pretty much every Western ever made. The greatest of all, of course, being Back to the Future Part 3.
Yeah! Yeah! 24! This is no use, buddy! Even fastest horse in the world! Won't run more than 35, 40 miles an hour! Yeah!
But it doesn't get much more iconic than this.
The Grand Canyon is often referred to as one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. It's 277 miles long and up to 18 miles wide, and every year it attracts around 5 million tourists. Of course, with that many people, things can go wrong. The park is littered with signs warning you about the dangers of trying to hike in the canyon. Due to the high temperatures and lack of water available, people become exhausted, dehydrated, and many people have even died in the canyon. The message from the park is clear. Do not try to hike to the bottom of the canyon and back in one day. So, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
It's half an hour till sunrise, but it's already pretty light. And this is when you need to be starting the walk, because we're going all the way down there. So we're at the 1.5 mile point, and one of the great things about starting this early in the morning is that you have the whole canyon to yourself, which is pretty special for Grand Canyon, because later on this place can be absolutely packed. So it's 6:15, been going an hour and a half. That's how far I've come down so far. Nearly halfway down elevation wise. I'm here at Indian Gardens, and from the top down here, every 1.5 miles you can refill your water, but from here to the bottom there's no way you can refill your water. So you basically get from here to the bottom and back without any extra drink, which is a 6-mile round trip. And if you're thinking at the bottom you could pop to the ranch and refill there, that's another 2 miles downstream, so that would make it a 10-mile round trip. So basically you've got to get from here to the bottom and back with what you've got. It's 6:30 now, so I'll probably get to the bottom by about 8 and hopefully be back up here by 10. Because between 10 and 4 o'clock, that's the hottest time of the day, so you want to be back here by 10. And then you can just refill as you keep going on the way back up. This is called Devil's Corkscrew.
And this big basin that you got to walk around just heats up like an oven, so you want to be back up here before 10 o'clock. Otherwise it's just hell and you'll just roast.
That there's the Colorado River, and this is the bottom of Grand Canyon. Now all I've got to do is get back up there.
Bottom of the Devil's Corkscrew slash Ball of Death. So here we go. Just at the top of Devil's Corkscrew, absolutely boiling. It's not even 9 o'clock yet. I can't imagine what it'd be like during the middle of the day or late in the afternoon. Lizards make that sound like a drill. Back at Indian Gardens, there's a deer just there. It's 9:30, which is a pretty good time. Now it's just the last 4.5 mile slog back up the main bit of the canyon, which is going to be completely in the sun. It's going to be tough, but I should be back in pretty good time. Lazy bastards. Made it back to the top. I'm gonna have a shower and then get a beer.
Last stretch now, on our way to Vegas. We're on a stretch of the old Route 66 here. Most of it doesn't exist anymore, but this is a little stretch that they've kept.
Gas station's converted to a gift shop.
Move it down. Last night, bit of a contrast being in Vegas, isn't it? You say it's like contrast of heaven and hell, don't you?
It's all sort of dark and opposed to green and red.
Las Vegas can be a lot of fun, but doing it at the end of our trip, it just felt like a kind of inappropriate ending for our trip, considering we'd just been through the sort of most beautiful natural landscapes in the whole world. To come to this sort of man-made, crazy playground just felt a bit weird. Plus we were absolutely knackered from doing the Grand Canyon the day before, so yeah, we weren't exactly pumped up and ready for a big night out. But we had an absolutely amazing time, absolutely incredible time. It's a completely relaxing, stress-free couple of weeks, you know. For some people, a relaxing holiday is just sitting on the beach for 2 weeks, but for us, it's going walking in these national parks. I think the reason we just keep going back to the national parks is, well, why wouldn't you? They're just some of the most incredibly beautiful places in the world. And for me, the national parks sort of represent kind of the best side of America. You know, they're completely protected by the government. They're not overrun by shopping malls or McDonald's, Starbucks. They're not mined for the natural resources. And unlike some other parts of America, they completely embrace science and the teaching and learning of it. It's great to discover new places, new cultures, but it's also great to revisit your old favourites, and that's exactly what this holiday was about. And we've had a fantastic time. It's been a brilliant trip.
When you hear but you just don't listen, when you're looking but you just don't see, when you're thinking there's no rhyme